Greetings, traveler, and welcome to the corner of the tavern. I'm Patrick,
I'm Mikey.
And I'm Key.
and today we will be talking about A Knight's Tale from 2001. I knew that off the top of my head, and not because this is the second take.
Isn't that amazing?
Hey, I know, right? Like I said, I'm not appreciated enough around here, gentlemen.
No, you're not.
You should be head of the guild.
All right,
All right, you've sufficiently stroked my ego.
There we go.
We may continue. But yeah, so Mikey,
Yes.
you reminded me, you're the one who put on this movie, and this just happened to
Absolutely.
be one of Keelan's favorites.
Yeah, I know you guys got opinions about this movie. I think it's a good movie. All right, I stand by. I think it's a good.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think there are some weird choices.
Oh, there are some weird.
There's definitely some weird choices.
Before we get started on the movie, though, I do want to talk about, because this was a wild shock to me, and I told you guys after we watched this movie, because it shares the exact same name. I thought it was a movie recreation of A Knight's Tale from the Canterbury Tales, which is a wildly different story.
Yeah, no, you told us about like the actual the Canterbury Tales version afterwards, and yeah, that is very different.
It's very different. This is somebody else's interpretation.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this wasn't an adaptation of the movie until like 20 minutes in, because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, because the Canterbury Tales version is actually quite short. So I was thinking like, oh, we're like kind of
talking about
establishing things to elongate it into like into a blockbuster style movie, and it's like, oh, okay, so this just isn't it at all.
Nope, it's its own thing.
Yes.
What was that before or after Queen?
Probably just before it.
Just before.
Probably just before it. So, speaking of, let us first run down the movie, and then maybe we can talk about the Canterbury Tales afterwards.
Yeah.
And why it was such a shock to me that it was not that.
That's fair. Well, considering the Canterbury Tales version, I think this is a better story.
I would agree. I don't think the Canterbury Tales version is a good story. So the movie starts, and we meet our three main characters as they are standing over their Lord Knight, who he's wearing his full armor, so we don't see his face or anything. But basically, they had just said that he has shit himself to death.
Yes.
Which I want to talk about because it's not super plot relevant, but it is a weird choice. Again, this is one of the weird choices that the movie makes. So when we were first introduced to this Lord Knight's death, it's like treated as a joke, as the old codger shit himself to death. Ha ha ha! And in his plate mail too. What a fuckface.
You're like, oh man, it's gonna be a bitch to clean that thing out.
Yeah.
Like they're just complaining about their work and be like, man, fuck, our meal ticket's gone.
But then later in the movie, and again, it's not super plot relevant, but the main character has a flashback, and this Knight Lord is like a father figure to him when he's like 10 years old. So it's kind of weird that he's like
shitting on him.
Yeah, shitting on him after he literally shits himself to death from dysentery.
To be fair, that was when he first met him. All right, this is after spending like 12 years with this guy.
Yeah, you know what? He could have become senile and turned into a real asshole.
Yeah, he might have been a dick by the end.
So after basically like all of the guys are like kind of freaking out, like what are we gonna do? When our main character, who is played by Heath Ledger, what's his name again?
Will Thatcher.
Will Thatcher comes up with the idea of taking his master's armor and pretending to be him in the tournament, so that just participating alone will give them enough money that they can sustain themselves.
Yeah, they're like, he was already so far ahead or whatever behind in the list that like all you need to do is just run the circuit and we'll at least make something out of this.
Yes. So they go there, they dress him up, they pretend that it's him, and they make sure to never take off his helmet and shit. Where we get introduced to our first chronological weird choice of the movie. That, Mikey, did you raise your eyebrows like I did?
Yes.
Yes. Where the first joust is opening, and like it's a baseball game, they start like stamping their feet and clapping their hands as they sing "We Will Rock You" from Queen.
Yes.
In this medieval fantasy movie.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm gonna have to play some defense here. Like, I get it. There are some odd choices in this movie, and some of them I don't stand by, but I will go to bat for it on saying I'm nostalgic for it. All right, let's be real. Second of all, B,
It goes hard.
Yeah, B, it does go a little hard. C, this movie was made like I'm gonna assume this came out like probably before 9/11. Like this is like
just before.
Yeah, this is like a pre 9/11 movie. This is a different world back then. You were getting different blockbusters at the time.
That's right.
So like there are a lot of like early 2000 isms in the movie.
Oh yeah,
and,
especially in the choice of hairstyles.
No, I see. That's one of the ones I won't stand by. Well, we'll get into that.
Do you remember the part where the main character, he like turned his bike-pocket like to the side, and then he like put like 2 wheels on a plank of wood, and he like skid down the half pipe?
He says "Huck to a man."
and then his girlfriend came out of the Matrix.
Yeah. No, if you put sunglasses on Lady Jocelyn in this movie, it would not go like a miss. Like,
Yeah,
like,
it would not go
like,
amiss for her to be a Matrix character.
But the thing is why I bring this up and why I will stand by it is because there are some points in the movie that like tried to like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or actually pay homage to things that happened in history. And this is kind of one of those occasions where, yes, it is an odd choice where you're expecting a medieval movie with medieval things going on to have the crowd singing "We Will Rock You." I always thought it was an odd choice as a kid, but I had like looked into some stuff in the movie. Apparently, this was just supposed to kind of give like a modern interpretation of like the kind of crowd singing or like popular songs at the time that people would chant like that in a crowd, like a baseball game.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a baseball or a hockey game,
Yeah.
like you go to it, and that's like the type of shit that they would sing. "We are the champions.
Mhm.
We will rock you." Shit like that. And so I get what it's going for. I don't think it nails it. I don't think it. I don't think I get that feeling.
You're watching this from a 2026 mind. You got to transport back to 2001, man. You got to
Surge energy drinks, the PlayStation 1.
Everything's radical back then, man. You don't take movies seriously. This isn't trying to win an Oscar.
You don't take movies seriously. That is true. But yeah, so as jarring of a choice it is, it definitely gave the movie its own flavor.
Mm.
And so the main character, he loses the joust and is almost uncovered, but gets lucky because the what's it called again? The lance breaks right on his face, and it dents his helmet inward, and he's able to use that as an excuse as to why he can't take it off.
Mm-hmm.
So him and his friends, they're like, "All right, good con. Let's
we got a little bit of money. Let's split it 3 ways and go."
But Will Thatcher,
Will.
He says like, "Nah, man,
let's let it ride."
Yeah,
let it ride.
Let's let it ride.
17 back. Let it ride.
I didn't do too bad. Let's let this ride.
Yeah. And his friends need a little convincing.
Yeah.
But they move on to, okay, you know what?
Let's do another turn.
Yeah, let's try it. What is the worst that could happen?
Mm-hmm.
So after they spend, but it does require a little sacrifice because they have to spend the money that they made from that tournament on training.
Yeah, they each get like, instead of like, I think it was like originally like 7 apiece or something like that. They each get like 1 or 2 apiece. And then like the rest of it goes towards like training and like armor and stuff like that.
Yeah. I will say I did find that initial split to be bullshit, and I brought it up as we were watching it.
Yeah, I remember.
Because they made 15 gold pieces, and there's 3 of them, and the main
that's right. So it was 5 apiece.
Yeah, the main character's like, 5 apiece. I'd be like, fuck that, dude. If I'm the one on the horse jousting,
I got hit in the face. Like,
I take the lion's share of whatever we made. We'll go 7, 4, and 4. How's that?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Are you shitting me?
No, but he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. He was willing to let it be until he's like, nah, but we can let it ride.
Yeah, we can let it ride.
Well, it was also his idea too. It was his idea.
Yeah.
He was the one taking all the risk. He was the one who risked being paralyzed, found out, and jailed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even split. Nah.
That's what they agreed on. He's a man of his word. Hey, it's the Heath Ledger. He's a man of his word.
Do you want to know how I got these scars? I was jousting, and the lance broke off right in my face and tore up the sides of my mouth.
Yeah, it's like that one dude in Night of the 7 Kingdoms.
My father was not a nice man. He shit himself to death in his arm.
My father sold me off to a knight at the age of 10.
And his serfs didn't like that. Not one bit. Anyway. So, after convincing them and they all put in money and train, it's now time for, it's the new season.
Mm-hmm.
The new season, the new circuit. Where right before, you brought this up before, I forgot about this part. Right before, when they're on their way, they run into a naked man on the road.
Yeah.
Who reveals himself to be, what is his name again?
Geoffrey Chaucer, who was a real historical poet and figure. Again, this is one of those funny historical things they like to play around with this movie, where there is 1 year of his life that's unrecorded, where they just in between, where they knew he was doing something in this time, they knew he was doing something here, but there was a year gap in between where they just couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on with them, and they say that this is where that movie takes place,
which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a funny
I think it's clever.
Yeah, it is a funny bit. Yeah, but they find him naked walking down the road, and he talks about it as he was gambling, so he lost all of his stuff. They're like, "Would you get robbed?" And he's like, "In a way, yeah."
And initially, they were kind of just gonna pass him by, but he informs them of some important information, which is that if they want to compete in the new tourney,
Mm-hmm.
they have to provide written documentation of your noble birth.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the only one that they know who could forge it.
Up to two generations or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, they have to include him in on their scheme now, because he, even though the rest of this group is lifelong friends, and this is a naked bum they met on the side of the road, so they're very cautious of him. But at the same time, they are given no choice but to bring him in, because he's the only one that can provide what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we then get to our next tournament, which our main character. Oh, I forgot. This is where we are introduced to the love interest right before the tournament.
Well, but before we talk about the love interest, we will also establish the fact that the cover that Will is going with now, as opposed to the Dead Knight or using his real name, is he's referring to himself as Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein of Gelderland,
Mm-hmm.
which is a mouthful, and they do joke about that in the movie to an extent. But if for all intents and purposes, from this point on in the movie, he's mainly referred to as that by anybody he's meeting outside of his circle of friends who know who he is.
Yes. So after he gets into town, that is when we meet love interest Jocelyn.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jocelyn.
Yes. She is not so bad upon meeting her.
No.
Well, that's the one time she's dressed
not
normal.
Bad. She doesn't have a bad first impression.
Mm.
She is beautiful, but she's coy.
And smart. Because, again, she brings up, every night comes up to her and is like, I win this tournament in your name. And she's like, no, you win this tournament because you want to win this tournament. You say you do it in my name because you want to fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
And you think I'm stupid enough to let you if you say shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it establishes, she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
She's not whimsically.
She's not falling for it and all that.
Yeah. So Sir Ulrich finds her, and he goes, Aelita.
Fucking Coleoco.
Yeah.
Aelita.
Completely off topic.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Sorry, for a second
Fucking
there,
cool.
I thought you were trying to do an Anissa thing.
No.
No.
No, we're talking about Coleoco.
Aelita. You ever hear Did you watch Coleoco at all?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Coleoco.
Do you remember what Jeremy sounded like in later seasons?
No.
It was awful, dude. Because when he was younger, it never sounded good. Because his voice was like this.
Yeah.
But when he was younger, at least it kind of was like, oh, hey, Aelita, But then the voice actor got older in later seasons, and his voice dropped, and he was like, Aelita, what's going on? Aelita? It was
That's gross. Which one's that character again? Was he
Ulrich. That's why I brought him up with.
No.
No, I'm wrong. Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, Ulrich is the Japanese kid.
Ulrich's the guy from the movie.
But that's why I brought him up. Is Ulrich von Liechtenstein is a shared name.
No, yeah, gotcha.
But anyway, side tangent. So they get in the pods and they go to the digital world.
I mean, I could believe it the way she's dressed the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, she's plugged in.
Yeah, so they meet.
I swear she turned into a time traveler at some point.
It was, yeah, hers was really bad, but we'll get to that later. But because right now they meet, they have a little meet cute in the church. It's fun, it's coy, and you know, he
Sorry, another fun historical thing. I think this is the last one I have for this movie so far. Is when they're in the church and people tell because they are yell at him to get out because he's like following her, like talking to Lady Jocelyn this
On
whole
a
time.
horse.
Yeah, he's so immersed by her in their conversation that he doesn't even realize he's talking to her on his horse.
Yeah, well, it's not that he's talking to her on the horse; is that he's followed her into a church
on his horse.
On his horse.
and the like priest, clergy, all there yell at him like, "Get out! Like you're desecrating the house of God!" And all that. Like get the horse out of here. So he's like, "Oh, sorry," and like he backs out. But again, fun attention to detail was that the church itself did not have any pews or anything in there, and that is because at that time churches historically did not have pews.
Well, and that's another thing too. Is just in general, like the way that's part of why the music choice is so jarring is because everything else is so historically accurate, from the clothes people wear, like to like
the clothes most people wear.
The clothes most people wear.
Yeah, which is another reason. But yeah, so that's another reason why the music sticks out so hard is just because like.
But it's fun, man. It's 2001. It's summer. You're watching Heath Ledger joust, man. You're chilling to some vibes.
You are, man.
This is the top 20 hits of 2001, dude. Have fun.
Dude, could you imagine instead of because they're playing like "We Will Rock You" and shit like that? You said 2001. I don't know if this came out in 2001, but could you imagine if at one of the jousts they were just like, "Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything I want?" Knocks the dude out of his horse.
It'd be fucking rad. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's my problem. Is they chose the wrong music.
They had the wrong music selection. They needed current. They needed current music.
Yeah.
Not 80s rock.
It wasn't selling for the public just yet.
Yeah. And he did go to a whore who said his life's a bore, so quit his whining because it's bringing her down.
I could hear them chanting that. That was fun.
So he enters his first tournament under his new name. And I don't think he wins this one. Am I right or am I wrong?
He loses the jousting,
Yes.
but he does win the the
sword fighting
contest.
contest.
Yes, he wins longsword.
And I think they kind of established that he is already good at longsword, but longsword doesn't carry as much prestige or money.
Can we talk about that longsword fight on how cartoony it fucking was?
Which one?
It was the longsword one. The blows were just so fucking soft.
I don't remember it.
Well, they didn't want to damage the gear.
God. I remember, I just got it all flooded back as soon as we talked about the longsword fight.
I don't remember the fight at all because it was such a small part of the movie.
It's small, but it's so cartoony.
Gotcha.
It's so it's just for entertainment. Like the guy's not trying to hurt the other actor.
Yeah, very. Well, I wouldn't even say
it's very
there.
The worst wrestling moves and whatnot.
Gotcha.
No, they should have just been doing the Shrek moves, honestly.
Yeah, give him the chair.
Yeah.
It would have fit the vibe of this movie.
It would have.
Because but the main reason why that's there is because it's to establish, because our main character established at the beginning of the movie that he is better at sword fighting. He's already great at it, but it doesn't carry nearly enough money or prestige. And also, if he's devoting his focus, he can't win the joust. He stands no chance in the joust if he's dividing his focus. He needs to become a sport-specific lance athlete.
Especially since in this first joust, they established the rivalry between him and the antagonist of the movie.
That's right, because he was trying to bang the same chick.
Yes.
Also, he was doing the longsword and the joust in the same day.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's just like, I can't do that again. I have to devote myself to the joust. So as the tournament season rolls on, we make a few key discoveries.
Mm-hmm.
One is that there's a the prince or king of Wales.
The Black Prince of Wales. He's next in line to be King of England.
He is jousting in the tournament under a false identity.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like Will, but from the opposite standpoint.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, he is found out, and he is forced to leave because no one will joust him because they don't want to fucking injure the king.
Yeah, they don't want to injure the king.
But Will is still willing to joust him, and still does. Like, they still run their circuit just because he knows that they both want the chance to do so.
Yes. Second is that our rival character is called to war, as he is a real knight, he must face battle now.
He is also a leader of a free company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another thing too is after this joust season, and like they're moving on with like the tournament, he needs armor repairs. So so they meet up with this woman blacksmith who joins their troop and starts working on the gear with them.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the main character is very pissed to learn that his rival, his Sasuke in this movie, is going to be absent from the next like several jousts because he is currently out fighting in the war.
Also, this blacksmith, our main character gets made fun of for his new armor because it's so small and thin. As opposed to like every other knight's armor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because this blacksmith, I think, for some reason, discovered heat treating.
Yeah.
And that's why his armor is like so durable despite being so thin.
Yeah, that doesn't happen until a little later in the movie. She gets him that one. But yeah, she gets him like the heat like later on she gives him like heat treated like armor plate or like plate armor.
Yeah.
And like she puts like an upside down Nike swoosh on there.
So yeah, and the season continues on, and our main character goes on to win several tourneys under his false identity. Meanwhile, now, he has, through letters... Oh! We have to talk about the letter.
Oh yes, the letter.
So, I was about to say, through letters, he becomes closer to his love interest, but first, he must write the first letter. And his whole crew come together to try to write the most romantic fucking letter that they could possibly think of, putting their collective thoughts together.
They're like brainstorming the like perfect Rizmail for her.
Yes, and it works. And she returns the sentiment and all that stuff, and she says like she's French, and the next big tournament is in France, and so she's like, I'll see you there and all that shit, right? So. And then there's a legitimately funny joke that I do like, which is one of his friends delivers the letter, and when he comes back, he's like, "Well, is there anything else for me?" And
he's all like looking kind of like sheepish, and then he gives him like a quick like kiss on the like mouth, and like and like instantly like spits, and like Will's reaction is like he gets like kissed by him, and he hits him, he goes, "Yes,
yes."
Yeah. So that was a really good gag.
It was funny.
So after this, they go to France, where the entire crew basically bet on their guy to win, like in a super risky bet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is where we start to turn a little bit on the love interest character.
Oh.
Also, I think this is around the point where she starts wearing like her Matrix fits, and like her hair's like all over the place.
It doesn't get super bad yet, but it's starting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like starts.
It's the turning point.
Because it starts with the hair, and then it
starts with the hair, then it's the whole outfit.
So she so they meet in a church, and right away, like the main character Will, he's kind of caught in a bind because she's like, "I want you to say more of the shit that you said in your letter. I want to hear more romantic shit from you." And he didn't write that letter.
Yeah, he's like, "Well, I don't got nothing locked and loaded right now. Also, your titties are pretty nice." And she's like, "Okay, well."
And this is where he really fucks up, because he says, No. Wait, look, I got something.
He's like,
think. Brain blast. I'll win the tournament for you. Last thing she wants to hear. She established to her handmaiden. That's the worst thing you can fucking say to her. So she says, "I want you to lose the tournament for me. That will prove your love for me. You could win that tournament very easily. I want you to lose for me." And he's like, that is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my entire life. I am not doing that. And she's like, well, then I guess you don't love me. And I think at the time he even says, I guess I don't. And he storms out.
Yeah.
But then, like,
yeah, like the first list comes up and he's just sitting there like letting guy after guy like ram him. No,
knock him off the horse.
Yeah, he comes to his senses.
Yeah.
And lets him get the shit beat out of himself, because he also it's not even enough to like just forfeit the matches or whatever. No, you have to
get your knocked on your ass.
Yeah.
Off your horse.
You gotta get all your fucking ribs broken, boy.
Oh no, she was really excited to see him getting beat up though. She's like, oh my gosh, he loves me.
It was a real Anissa moment. It really was.
It really was.
Watching iDubbbz in the ring getting wet.
But see, that's the thing though, is Anissa wasn't getting wet for iDubbbz.
No.
Nope.
So then he
You drink maxing?
I mean, I am drink maxing.
Okay.
He's got the red potion down there.
Yeah. I'm Gigtal. I'm a gnome going my own way.
Okay. That only makes sense to us.
I don't care. So then, after he gets beaten enough, now he gets new orders from his dictator girlfriend.
Yes.
Now you gotta win.
Now you can win. Because I said so, now you can win.
He's like, all right, fine. I guess I'm working twice as hard then. Fuck.
So he does do a come from behind victory. Where she goes and sees him in his tent after having all of his fucking ribs broken from taking all those lances to the torso. And they fuck and whatever and establish that they're boyfriend and girlfriend and smooch. And so after that, now we're getting into like the final tournament of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going back to England, and specifically like back to like where their home is.
Yeah, like their hometown.
Yes. And the main character. This is where the main character starts kind of.
Which I think it is just London in the movie.
Yeah, I believe it is London.
So he starts like reflecting on his life and him first coming here and how his dad dropped him off and stuff like that.
Yeah, and about that cool night guy that was like super nice to him and then eventually shit himself to death.
Yeah, and raised him.
And also, meanwhile, the rival character, the war is over, or at the very least, he's done with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever war he was in, it's done.
And he has returned for this final tournament. So all of the pieces are in place. Meanwhile, Will is like, he's just kind of walking around town when he finds out that his dad is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes to see his father and tells him of and it's
a touching scene
where he finds out that his father is blind. So originally he comes in and he introduces himself under his fake name of Ulrich.
Mm-hmm.
And like through talking with his father, he doesn't straight up tell him I'm your son, but he tells him a phrase that only his father would know.
Yeah, because he says Will said that he's changed his stars, and his father asked and have his feet let him home, which is what he was telling him when he was leaving as a kid, when he was having the flashback. He said, don't be afraid of leaving home, because as long as you follow your feet, you'll find your way back.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me, has he found his way back? And he says yes. And it's just a very touching moment where they like embrace and all that, like, because like again through the dialogue unfolding of just what these two characters know about each other, he's able to figure out that this is his son he's talking to.
Mm-hmm. However, unfortunately, unbeknownst to Will, he was followed to his father's house, and by one of the serfs of his rival character.
Yes.
And the rival is then like the rival is a fucking narc. He's a rat.
Yeah, they disprove his nobility.
Yeah.
And if he shows up to the jousting field, he will be arrested. So he is faced with a choice of running or not even fighting, just getting arrested. Yep. He chooses the latter, to everybody's chagrin. Everybody was super pissed.
Yeah, they were like, everybody's like, no, let's fight another day. Let's skip town.
Even his girlfriend.
It was really funny because he was trying to go for this whole like end game like hero like rally speech where he's like, no, but we're gonna stand our ground, right, guys? and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna show them what being a true knight really is. And everybody's like, no, dude, seriously, get the fuck out of here. And he's like turning to like each of them in sequence, and like every one of them shuts him down. And
yeah,
he's
they're
like,
all shaking their heads like, no.
Yeah, he not won his speech check.
Pretty much.
But he goes out anyway.
Yeah, he still gets arrested.
Gets arrested.
Gets arrested.
Gets put in the stocks in the town square where everybody throws rocks and tomatoes at him and goes, haha. And then,
you thought you were cool.
Yeah. I may have cheered for you like just yesterday, but that was before I realized that you were a fucking peasant.
A phony.
Like me. I thought you were my better, not my equal. So, but those fools were proved wrong because his old friend, the future king of England, shows up in a drippy ass jacket.
Oh man, that jacket is really cool.
He was styling,
and basically frees him from the stocks and knights him on the spot. And now he is a true knight who needs hide no longer.
Which I will say, I do like that scene because like when I think his name's Prince Edward. When Prince Edward shows up, he knows what's going on, and like he even kind of like gives a little like wink nudge to Will, who's like currently in the stockade. And he's like, I guess we're both pretending to be things that we aren't, kind of idea. And he makes like an address to the crowd. He's like, I've had my personal historians look into it, and it turns out that he is part of an ancient knight or like ancient royal lineage. And so it's like he's like, this is my word, so you can't question it. Like he just lies on his behalf and just says that.
It's like, too bad he's the knight because I said so, and I'm your king, so go fuck yourself.
He's like, you're not gonna question me. He's a knight, fuck you. And then he just knights him on the spot. So in the end, Will gets to be knighted as himself.
Yes. Now he must take part in the final tournament against his rival, his Sasuke,
the mercenary general.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they have their battle. It's hype. It's cool. It's like
absolutely.
The guy's cheating.
Yeah,
he puts like fucking spikes in his thing.
Oh yeah. Like he pulls his opponent's pants down. He tickles his balls a little and slaps him across the face. He does all the classic maneuvers. He puts Vaseline on the main character's lance so that when he goes to like hold it, it's flipping all around and
get a good grip.
Yeah. But so the main character is in a do or die moment where now he must dehorse Sasuke or else he loses the tournament. And in a do or die situation with a broken arm, he fucking takes off, or a broken collarbone.
Well, he got like stabbed through the shoulder.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Splint got him.
Yeah.
So he takes off all of his armor, so he's jousting naked, well, in clothes, but
Yeah, with no protective armor.
With the lance fucking tied.
with like a belt. He's just like this.
Yeah, he's basically just a scarecrow on top of a horse at this point.
Send me back in, boss.
Yeah. And so our main character, or the Bard character, the real history guy, he throughout this entire movie, he's been doing like hype man shit, like who is that guy who did it for the Undertaker? My Undertaker.
Paul something.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, he was like Paul Heyman for the Undertaker.
Yeah, he just kind of like comes in and just starts like riling up the crowd and everything.
Yeah.
Like he's like doing like a bunch of like crowd work anytime Will goes out to joust. So like seeing that Will needs a little extra time, he like starts delaying the crowd, like delaying things a bit by talking to the crowd.
Yes, and so you go,
and he's also wearing the same sick ass jacket that the prince is wearing.
It's the same type,
it's
but
a big feathery jacket.
Yeah. He goes. He has risen from the stockade. I don't know.
You sound like Chris Chan when you said
I should have won the jousting tournament, because then I would have gotten a free PSP, and me and my sweetheart Megan would have gone on the Royal Cruise.
If you could be a professional, like sports anything of your choice, but Chris Chan had to be like your announcer.
Yeah,
like what?
I do. That'd be funny as hell. He'd throw Kamehamehas at my opponent.
Oh my god.
Kamehamehas! then he apologized because he realized that was too harsh of a punishment. So anyway, so he hypes him up, and like my point in describing this is that it is a hype like final moment of the movie, and yeah, so Sasuke, he charges his Chidori, he goes at him
on the horse.
Yeah, on the horse. The main character, he powers up his Rasengan. He charges forward, and yeah, dude, it lands.
Our main character's Lance lands.
You find out why the show's called Naruto.
Why it's called Will Thatcher. But yeah, so he does dehorse him, and he wins the whole tournament, and it's hype. And I think the movie just ends right there, right?
Yeah, everybody celebrates and parties after, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's just one of those movies that cuts to credits
yeah, it does. Yeah,
as they just kind of cheer and stuff.
Yeah. The climax is the victory.
Yeah, and that's the movie.
It is the movie.
So I guess we'll start because Mike, you've never seen this movie before, much like me.
So I've only seen the end of this movie.
Really?
Yes, only the final joust. I've only seen that because I caught I think my dad watching it, and I just watched the rest of it with him.
Gotcha. What did you think about it?
I thought it was great. I liked it.
Yeah. I also
converted another to the cause.
No,
I was planning to watch it anyway.
I do like this movie. I just do think that there were some weird choices that stick out. Not even necessarily bad, but it makes the movie weird. And it kind of makes it more memorable. So the positive one that we talked about is the music. Throughout all of the jousting tournaments and training scenes and montages, it plays like 80s rock music.
Yes.
So
Flow Rido when they're doing the training sequence.
Yeah.
So it gives it its own flavor. Like I said, I get what it like you said. It was meant to mimic like how this was their baseball. This was their football. Yeah. This was the shit. These were the sports that the people would get hyped for at the time, and it's meant to mimic that feeling. It doesn't do that for me. It just feels weird. It just feels like a weird choice, even
a lot of
knowing what they're going for. The second choice, and we have talked about this at length, personally, is the main love interest's haircut and wardrobe, especially towards the latter third of the movie. Like when she shows up to like the French joust for the first time. So first of all, before even the joust, she's got like this weird pixie cut now. While everybody else is dressed like appropriately for the time.
Well, again, it's like it also evolves too, because like when you first see her, when he's like talking to her and like risen her up and they walk into the church, like she's like done up in like a full like medieval garb with like the dress and like a head cap and everything like that. And then like I'm sure this is probably they're trying to go for some visual storytelling here where it's like, oh, but she learns to be more free with this guy, like she's shedding, her boundaries and stuff as he's shedding his things as a peasant to be a knight and whatnot. But it just like they don't really establish that. It's just she's like continuously like every time she shows up, like something's different and it just looks worse. It's just like she's got like multicolored hair now, and it's like in like a pixie cut, or it's like, oh, she's wearing like dresses that do not look the fashion of the time or whatever it is.
No.
Like again, like I said, like you put like sunglasses
on
her,
a weird
like she
Chinese looking dress.
She did at one point. She also wore what looked to be a modern day party dress that was like it showed like
it was like super revealing again. Like
glittery too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just not.
Hey, the girls in 2000s, they love glitter.
Listen, as a 2000s party dress.
Oh, that was another thing too. That was another thing. The fucking face paint, dude. She kept having the face paint.
Oh, yeah. So it was her wardrobe is just wild as it goes throughout the movie. But other than those two things, it is a really solid. I guess you could call it a sports movie.
Kind of, yeah. Old timey sports movie.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a really solid watch. Heavily would recommend. Especially as a drunk watch.
Oh yeah.
It's fine on its own, but like watching it with your friends as you're all drunk, I think it's one of those movies that gets that extra level from it.
I do think the hype flows through you more.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. That's why people back in the day, they knew how to just make a fun, dumb movie. Nobody's making like they're making retarded movies. Okay, sorry, we can't use that word. Oh,
no, we can.
No, we can.
Oh, we can. Oh,
yeah,
we're allowed.
Yeah, the R word's back.
Oh, okay, cool. No, I see. I mean,
Glee tried to get rid of it, but they failed.
That's fine. But I thought that you had previously tried to edit those out. So
some slip through the cracks, and it's fine. So
okay, well, fair enough. So a lot of movies are retarded nowadays. And
goddamn right, they're retarded.
But there's no like dumb movies. Like there's no just like fun dumb movies anymore. Like ones that aren't trying to be some kind of like award-winning masterpiece or be subversive.
Yeah, it's either that or nothing.
Well, that's because
be like subversive or preachy or whatever the fuck it is. It's like you don't just have like a fun blockbuster that you can go to and watch anymore in the theaters. It seems like, and it seems like a good one.
That's because every movie these days is now designed by committee. Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking to put the most money into it to get the most money back out of it. Mm-hmm. And like you're saying there's no dumb movies anymore. There are, but like from my understanding, they only come from one studio, and that's Blumhouse, because they purposefully run on like we're only going to put like say 1 million into this movie and expect 7 million back, right? So, and that's kind of what all movies were doing back in the days, outside of the few blockbusters, right? But now every movie is trying to be a blockbuster of like, we put $70 million into this movie. And what that means is that there's also at least $70 million in the advertising, which means that this movie needs to make over $140 million just to break even. And now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they don't just want to break even, they want profits. And so it's like, this movie.
That's why everything's flopping in the box office anymore. Because and then that's the thing is like
this movie only made $200 million. It's a loss.
They're pouring too much into this stuff and not enough actual care.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing too. Like you said, care. Again, it's designed by the committee. What would appeal to the most people possible? What is the thing that we can cast the absolute widest net on? And again, it's
normies.
Not. Yeah, it's not. Well, and it's not even like ideas or visions or whatever. It's like, well, what do people like? People like Marvel. People like superheroes. We'll just make a lot of them.
People like Soylent.
People like Soylent. So that's like why they don't make movies.
People like bug sandwiches.
Hey, listen. You ever crunched into a cricket before?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
It was stupid.
No.
I didn't want to have it again.
I feel like I'm missing something.
We must return to monkey and eat ants off the ground.
I'm not doing that.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I'm eating red meat
from. Oh, okay, never mind. We're talking about the bug burgers. Gotcha. I thought you guys were talking about just like legitimately eating like some crickets or shit. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that.
I was gonna say some people do that.
Well, they make like bug snacks.
They do, yeah. Well, because the thing
I think somebody gave me one, and it wasn't terrible, but I was like, I wouldn't go out of my way to eat this.
Yeah, no, somebody gave me one when I was in high school because I had ROTC and we were doing like the survival training stuff. So it was like a joke. Like somebody gave me some like that, like a pack of like crickets or whatever, but they're like like roasted with like the seasoning shit on them. And it just tasted like sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I would imagine. Like again,
I'd rather just have sunflower seeds.
Real, but you know.
But
there's more protein, Mikey. You get to pick the legs out of your teeth. It's fun.
And it's not.
But yeah, so again, that's just why they don't make movies like this no more, is because again, like it's all field tested, like community made shit. And so that being said, so this movie it is a breath of fresh air, because as weird as it is and as bad as it is in points, it is original. It is not. I can't think of the last time I've seen a movie like this. It's got the same vibe as Shrek, which did come out around the same time.
Yes,
but you know, there's a difference between a vibe and being like a whole copy of something.
Yeah.
So I definitely did like it. I would ask, normally at this point I would go through like favorite and least favorite scenes, like worst scenes, but I don't think there's a worst scene in this movie. Like I don't think there was a part of this movie.
No, the worst scene was when we all collectively groaned at when the love interest was like, "You have to lose for me."
Yeah,
I think the worst scene.
It is subjectively annoying, but I don't hate it from a writing standpoint, because it was something that was set up and paid off. You hate it just because like
I just didn't enjoy the viewership of that.
That's fair.
Let's see, what would be my least favorite? Because I've seen this movie several times. My mom used to watch this movie all the time when I was a kid, so I'd like catch it a lot. What would be the worst scene to me?
I will agree with you, Mikey. Though, if there is a worst scene to me, it is that.
Yeah, because we all when we were all watching, we all collectively went, "Oh, this bitch."
I know what the worst scene for me is, and I think it might even track with you guys, considering we didn't even bring it up when we were giving the review of the movie. The ball scene.
The balls.
The ballroom scene. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, yes.
This during the recap.
Yes, the ballroom scene.
After the first tournament, before they move on to before the love letter stuff, there's a scene where they all have to go. They have to attend a ball for the main character to get closer to his love interest.
Yeah,
and he's put on the spot to ask how does he dance in his home country.
Yes,
can you show us how you dance? You seem interesting. We want to see how you do things.
You know what? I am changing my answer to that.
Yeah, the ballroom.
Yeah, because
because
that was totally unenjoyable.
Yeah, everybody.
Forgettable.
Yeah, it's just like
it is forgettable.
Very forgettable music, and then everybody's just kind of improvised dancing around, and it's just okay. It's really uncomfortable, kind of.
Yeah, it was cringe in a bad way. All right, gentlemen, then. Out of 5 daggers, what would you give this movie?
4.
I'm going to give it 4.5 for nostalgia's sake.
I also give it a 4, like a flat 4. So...
We're all in consensus.
Yes, it's a really good movie.
If I had watched this movie for the first time now, I probably would give it a 4. But again, I have too many fond memories of this movie that
I get you. Their movies have definitely.
I would say it's going to influence me a little bit.
So
if you want to throw a flat 4 for those who care, but yeah, we got to throw the Fantastic Four set.
But yeah, so again, good movie, highly recommend. It's weird in points, but again, in a way that gives it flavor, in a way that makes it stand out, and not just fall into the background of homogenized bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's one that always stuck out to me.
But yeah, so before we close out, do we want to talk about The Knight's Tale that I thought this movie was based off of?
Like you said, it's a pretty short story. We can run through that one.
So.
Are you sure we're allowed to discuss something like that?
We'll have to censor a little bit of it, but
okay.
So I thought that this was based off of A Knight's Tale from the Canterbury Tales, which the Canterbury Tales is a collective series of short stories. The overarching plot of those short stories doesn't really matter to this, but long story short, the book was never finished, but it was published anyway. The Knight's Tale is in the overarching story, the tale that the knight on the way to the Canterbury trek tells. So, this is his story. And again, keep in mind, this is what I thought the movie was going to be as we were watching it. So, in The Knight's Tale, we open on a royal courtroom where a knight is being brought in chains, and he is forced to prostrate himself before the king. The king reveals the charges. He hears that he has forced himself sexually on a barmaid the night before. And this is very much not knightly conduct. Mm-hmm. How do you plead? The knight says guilty. The king says, well, normally I'd cut your head off for such an offense. However, we are bros. So I think I can let this slide. And so, and then the knight goes, yeah, and he goes, woogity, 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 woogity. And he was almost home free until the queen walks in. Mm. And she goes, darling, may I sentence the knight instead? And he goes, oh, yes, my love, my boo, my darling.
Oh, yes, my Anissa.
Anything for you. And the knight immediately just in his head, he's like, I'm fucked. So fucking fucked, dude. It's over.
It's so Jover.
It's so Jover.
So Jover.
But then the queen does not kill him. She gives him a task. She says, I will give you 1 year to search the kingdom to find the one thing every woman desires. You may go. He goes, psh, easy. Man, I know women like the back of my hand because I forced them to have sex with me. So, I'm just emphasizing, keep in mind, our main character is an R-worder. He would be in the files. So, he travels the whole kingdom for an entire year. And he asks every woman in the kingdom, what do you want in a partner? What do you want in a man? Every single one of them says something different. I want a man who's tall, who's short, who's ripped, who's skinny, who's rich, who's funny. He can never find the same answer twice. Mm-hmm. And so a year has gone and passed, and it's time for him to return. And he's like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm going to get my fucking head cut off. This is going to be awful. When an old woman comes from behind the bushes, and she goes, yeah, I have heard of your predicament, Sir Knight. I hear that if you don't find the right answer, you're going to get your fucking head and dick cut off. And he goes, well, I didn't know about that last part, but now I'm really scared. Clearly, you know something I don't. Yes, I saw it foretold in my crystal ball. You're gonna get your head and dick chopped off, and not in that order. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, bro!
It's like, oh well, that doesn't sound too bad. Not in that order. Oh
fuck! So yes. So she says, "I have the answer for which you seek. But I will only give it to you if you promise me an undisclosed favor at some point in the future of my choosing." He goes, wow, you're a really eloquent old bag, but sure, I'll agree to those terms. So off screen, she gives him the answer. So it's revealed to us in the audience, along with everybody else in the throne room. So he presents himself to the queen. She says, did you find your answer, Sir Knight? And he says, I think. And she says, what is it that all women desire? And he nervously, respect.
Go.
And she goes...
Man really had to pick his brain for that one.
And she goes, that's the right answer. You get to live. And he goes... So, he thinks he's scot-free. But in the middle of the throne room, the old bag reveals herself once more. She goes, all right, I'm here to collect my favor. You will marry me, Sir Knight. And he goes, no, that ain't happening. I'm
altering the deal, Frey. I don't alter it any further.
So, little tattletale old woman goes and tells the queen, she says, I was the one that gave him the answer in exchange for a favor, which I'm calling in now, and he's trying to stiff me. And the queen says, is that true, Sir Knight? And he goes, oh, yeah, I guess. And
should have lied.
Well, he's a knight. He's bound by honor.
Wasn't bound by honor.
Bound by honor that night.
Yeah. It's almost like he's a bad guy. But anyway, he agreed. He's like, yeah, that is, yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, okay, fine. You got me. I guess I did agree to that deal. Whatever. So then the queen is like, well then, Sir Knight, it seems here like you are presented with a choice. You can either marry this old woman, or I can cut your head and dick off, and not in that order. He's like, fuck you, Fred. So he's like,
she foretold it in the crystal ball.
Yeah. The crystal ball.
So he agrees. He's like, fine, okay. So the queen marries him on the spot. They go home. Now the old woman, she's like, and now it's time to consummate the marriage. And he goes, no.
Nope.
Our deal was that I would marry you. I do not have to fuck you. That is never stated. I'm not doing it. And she's like, but if you don't fuck me, then the marriage isn't consummated and it's not viewed as like official by 14th century law. And he goes,
that's actually still by today's law too. You can't you can have a marriage annulled if it's not consummated yet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it will be completely stricken from the record as though it never happened.
It's kind of funny.
Consummated.
Well, then the witch tells him that.
Yeah.
Much like now again.
yeah, much like the 21st century.
I foresaw him. I greased them all. So she is like, so she tells him that, and he goes, "Wow, I guess that sucks for you then, doesn't it?" And she goes, "You are either gonna fuck me right now, or I'm gonna go back to the queen, and she's gonna cut your head and get off, and not another." And at this point, he blows up on her. He goes, "You know what? Fine, because I'd rather fucking die."
That's to put up with you right now.
I've had enough of you.
So she goes, so seeing that she's lost all her leverage, she goes, okay, hold on. I may have jumped the gun a little bit here. Let's
reel us back.
Let me level with you real quick.
I'm not just an old woman. I'm actually a witch. I have magical powers. You might not have known this for all of my talk of the crystal ball. But I am magic. And I'll make you a deal. I can either be the hottest, most voluptuous woman you have ever seen in your life, but I'll be a total slut and I'll blow all of your friends. Or I could stay like this, a dirty old bag, but I'll be the most dutiful, faithful wife you will ever see in your entire life. I'll basically be like a servant or a slave to you, but you will have to fuck me, and I am old. So there is that. Make your live or die. Make your choice. And so he thinks about it for a second. He goes,
"Your balls are covered in breadcrumbs before you lies the KFC deep fryer."
So he thinks about it for a moment, and he goes, "You know what? You decide. You make the choice." And she goes, "Really? You're giving me the choice?" And he goes, "Yeah, I mean, you've been right about everything so far. So I think it only makes sense to, like, have you be the decision maker."
Mm-hmm.
And she unveils her, she was wearing, like, a bridal, like, face covering before this. And she, like, reveals it to show that she is a now young and beautiful woman. And she says, "That was the right answer. Now I will be young and beautiful and a dutiful wife and love you for eternity." And then they make out, and he looks in the camera, and he goes, "Oh, yeah!" And
then she pulls up the veil, and it was the barmaid the entire time. And she goes, "You just got punked." And then Ashton Kutcher walks up.
And
this is the 2000s.
And that's the story. And I remember, so I say forced, but, you know, we read this when I was in high school in my English class. And I remember as we were sitting there, as we had just finished the story, I had to raise my hand, and I asked my teacher, I said, "What was the moral of that story?" Because it's the Canterbury Tales. Every story is supposed to have a moral to it. And my teacher said, "The moral is to respect women." And I just pointed out to my teacher, I said, "But he raped a woman at the beginning of the story. And he got everything he could ever want as a consequence of that action."
Mm-hmm.
And my teacher just looked at me for a second like, and he like flipped back through to the start of the book, and he was just like, "Yeah, I guess that is true." And then we just moved on from it. And that's why that story has always kind of stuck out in my head, and I've never forgotten it, is because I've always thought it was such a weird story that our sexual assaulter main character, like, is, like, rewarded at the end for his terrible deed. Like, yeah, he had to go on, like, a journey of, like, suffering. But really, when you think about it, it wasn't that bad.
It was just wandering around asking every woman the same question for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then being threatened with death, like, twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he didn't marry an old woman, and then if he didn't fuck an old woman. Like, he did not get punished.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the end, he didn't even have to anyway.
Yeah. So,
those were the days.
So, my point is that when I saw that this movie was called A Knight's Tale, I was like, really?
Did you expect to see a woman get raped in the first 5 minutes?
No, well, I expected him to be brought to court, right?
Oh, okay.
And then, like, I was expecting us to open on the courtroom scene, but then that didn't happen. So I'm thinking, oh, are we kind of establishing what's going to happen before the sexual assault? Like, he wins the tournament, and then he gets drunk, and then he does it, and then he gets brought to the... And it's not until, like, we will rock you.
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
this is not it.
This is not it at all.
No, imagine that was the case. that it still went in that direction after it did the Queen opening.
Yeah, it does the Queen opening. The entire movie's unchanged. You know, he fakes being the knight. Does the Queen opening? The helmet gets stuck. He says, "We have a way to change our stars, gentlemen." They do the training montage scene, and then he's brought into court.
My king, I leveled up.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just like he goes to split the cash with the guys, and he goes, "I think I have a way to change our stars," and then it cuts over to it.
He follows a woman to the latrine.
Yeah, like, oh my god. So,
oh
yeah, then this would not have been a good movie.
Yeah, a 2001 Shrek comedy version of A Knight's Tale, Canterbury.
But so again, that's just like a little extra for me. Why I thought that the movie was kind of like a little funny, weird at the end. Like really, this is what we're watching right now. But all right, gentlemen. Well, now that I've told you A Knight's Tale, what do you give that out of 5 daggers?
3.
Considering I have not read it for myself, I've only ever heard you describe it a multitude of ways. I give that a 5. That's a pretty funny story, honestly, all things considered.
I give it a 1. I think it's a kid story, which is why I think it's weird that it's like remembered fondly as some sort of masterwork of literature.
Because you respect women.
That's true. I learned the lesson, and I didn't have to assault a woman to do it.
Exactly. He did it so you wouldn't have to. He's the nostalgia critic.
I like to imagine, because again, so I guess for an overview, the Canterbury Tales is a story about like 30 people traveling on like a religious pilgrimage, and they each tell a story to make the time go by, and that's the Knight's Tale. I like to imagine after like he finishes, everyone just looks around at him like,
dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck is your problem? What the fuck was that? No, but the moral of the story is to respect women. That's crazy, because I didn't get that at all.
Yo, dude, is that fucking Night Face?
That's a great album. But all right, guys. If we don't have anything more to say, I think it's time to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I agree.
All right. Then we hope to see you next week here in the corner of the tavern.
Oh, so you guys just keep stealing my bit.